Alright, I think we are live. Oh my goodness. Hello, hello. Hello. We are live. I'm just double checking I've got everything because I can guarantee you I will have completely missed something. Just checking that that's fine. Okay, good, great. Oh my god, okay, already my controllers start to play up. Because the boy is, come on. Come on! There we are. So the boy is needing the controller for the Xbox. But while we get everything, while I just like double check that I've got everything right, I'm gonna run some quick ads just to start us off. Run a thing. Okay, right, we should be good to go. I can guarantee you I've forgotten something. Guarantee you I've forgotten something. I've got my thing, my title's all good. I'm running that thing, controller's working, it is Naruto. Yes, I think I'm good. Audio's volume passable. Ish. Okay, ish. That is on my to-do list though, is to get a microphone. Like a proper one, so then the headset can literally just be for sound, which would be fair. Oh goodness gracious. Because either that, well actually my main things to get is I need a microphone, I need, oh my goodness gracious me, come on, there we go. I need a microphone, I need a webcam, and I need a ring light. Oh lordy. I've got my chicken sandwich, it's all falling apart in my hands, so that's not going to work. I am frazzled today, to say the least. I am absolutely having a bit of a moment. So already my game's off. I think I'm just distracted, which is why this fight's going so poorly. Yeah, this fight's going fantastically. And I was hoping to be able to get 100 fights done today. At this rate, that's not happening. But anyway, we live and we learn. We keep going. Hey, Insebo, what up? How is it going? How is life? Reply, Jutsu, back to you. How's things on your neck of the woods? I'm hoping to get that down to like 4,720 today, but no, we're trucking. Like, I hope you didn't, don't doubt for a second that we're gonna stop trucking. I am not resting until that counter is 0. Like, I'm not resting. So yeah. And hey, Bull, welcome in, buddy. Good to see ya, as always. I still actually need to, think about what I'm actually going to do on day, I don't know, 132 when we get to 0. I've got literally no idea what we're going to do. I need to think of something. It needs to be like special to some extent. No idea what it's going to be. Yeah. And Bull, I am doing very well. I believe. I think. I've got a chicken sandwich, or 2 chicken sandwiches should I say. They're falling apart on the plate, so probably going to end up eating my chicken sandwich in pieces. But that's alright. Yeah, no. So it is a new week. We are officially, depending on your maths, we're officially 8 days away from Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which I could be, no, I could be, I am so happy about. We are, oh, I'm so excited for that game. With that, what else has happened? For all those royally inclined, the king's coronation is on tomorrow, actually, isn't it? So, you know, I might give it a geese. You know, it's not every day you get to see a live king's coronation, I guess. That'll be interesting, I guess. What else? What other updates? Have I got any live updates? We bought a dining table. We've been literally eating our dinner on our laps or on our desks for ever since we got this house. We've had no like proper table to eat on. In fact, actually, have we had any proper table to eat on for a while? No, not even when we were renting. We didn't actually have a dining table. So we found one on Trade Me for $550. It's a nice big table. Yeah, it's a table, say that much. With 4 chairs. Pretty good condition, so that's good. So we're picking that up on. Wait, today's Thursday. I thought it was Friday for some reason. Oh my goodness. King's Coronation's not tomorrow, it's the next day. Anyway, we're picking the table up on Saturday. It's gonna be exciting. We'll finally have somewhere to eat dinner. Oh my goodness. Eat breakfast. And then all we need after that, I think the next purchase is gonna be a couch for this room, which we've got our eye on a really nice plush two-seater couch with the little like compartment in the middle, which has got like cup holders and like a little storage thing, kind of like in cars. Some cars have that little storage compartment in between the driver's and the passenger seat, behind the gear stick. So it's like that. Oh, it'll be fabulous. So that's our next purchase, and we managed to find one for like $1,000, which is super cheap compared to what it is, which I'm hoping isn't an indicator of. I hope the $1,000 is like, because it's really nice for $1,000, and I'm just hoping that it's a case of, like, functionally it's nice, but it's made of really, like, the pictures are doing it hella justice, in the sense that the pictures are zhuzhing it up way more than it actually is. So I'm hoping it's not that case. And then after that, I think those are like the last 2 big main purchases we need to get, I think. Yeah, I think. What else? Oh. And, oh my goodness, I can't believe I keep forgetting. Apologies if you're not a Star Wars fan, but oh my goodness, control! I'm gonna whack this controller into the wall. I swear to God. There we are. Sorry, you're gonna see many unintentional pauses. Anyway, May the 4th be with you, cause it is May the 4th here. I'm hoping it's May the 4th over where you guys are as well. Otherwise, that's gonna fall flat. But it is okay. Good, great. I didn't just embarrass myself. Lovely. Or I might have embarrassed myself. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to judge. But oh my. So my dad messaged me today. Because I messaged him like a May the 4th little picture thing, and then like 3 hours later he messaged saying, "Oh, go on Instagram," as if I have an Instagram. Go on Instagram and look up this like barber shop in the town where he lives. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I got myself a haircut. I'm like, oh, did he get a haircut? And they posted the picture of it up or something. But I went in, and then there's a picture of like a guy in a Darth Vader helmet. Pictured as like the photos taken, you know, as if the person had had a haircut, but it's obviously Darth Vader. And so Dad is known around the town. He is the guy that dresses up as Darth Vader on either on Star Wars Day or because he used to work for a game store, EB Games. And so when they were doing sort of like fundraisers, like charity fundraisers, he would dress up as Darth Vader and literally walk around town with the whole buckets thing as Darth Vader. So he is known around the place for that. So of course, if any store in town wants to do something Star Wars related, they know who to call. If they want Darth Vader to make an appearance, they know who to call. Yeah, so that was a little thing. So I thought that was really neat. Good on him. He's the town Darth Vader. I'll just say, yeah. Yeah. Bless my dad. For someone who's very, he's like a walking contradiction, because he doesn't really socialize very much, I think. Hello. Chickens for chicken. No, I'll save mine. Yeah. Is it your race? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, no, I was going to say for like a snack or something, if you want to go out for lunch tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, well, you can just give it to him if you want. I know, just it's alright, just give it to him.
That's the end, isn't it? In that case.
Yeah, so anyway, my dad. Yeah, it's been he's a walking contradiction. He's not at all whatchamacallit. He's not at all like, he's not like, so, what am I trying to say? He's not like a social butterfly, but at the same time he loves being like a big like theatrical storyteller, and you know, when he has opportunities like that with Darth Vader, will take them. It's kind of like he likes social attention in that sort of way, but he's not a social butterfly at the same time. Yeah, I don't know, weird. But anyway, so that's that. That was a chuckle. Beans, I didn't actually put anything up on the work chat. I should have actually put something on the work chat for May the 4th, because I need to like uphold my nerd credentials. Like, I think everyone in the office thinks I'm less of a nerd than I am, which is disappointing, and I need to rectify that. So I need to put nerd stuff in whenever I can. And then what else? What else happened? That's like literally it, I think. Yeah, that's literally it. that? Someone call me. No, it's just LinkedIn saying, you've appeared in 2 searches this week. I'm like, great. I'm sure I have. By some recruiter in America. Or I actually get a lot of recruiters from like Belgium, or like all of those yeah, a lot of recruiters from some of those yeah, I think it's Belgium is where I get it from. Hey, I play on PC. Please don't be BSA. One thing though, and I'm gonna be sorry to disappoint. Oh yeah, no, it looks like Xbox. It's because I'm using an Xbox controller on here. It's through Steam, but no, I use Xbox controller. Apologies. Yeah, and this I'm doing a wee little challenge, solo challenge by myself. So unfortunately I break many hearts by say the series that I'm doing is unfortunately not a 2-player affair. That will probably come after. Yeah, I'm not a mouse and keyboard player. I am not. Well, I say that. It depends on the game, really. But then, even then, having said that, FF14 is probably the only game I play mouse and keyboard. I, for the life of me, like genuinely for the life of me, struggle. I like really struggle on thingy, I struggle with a keyboard and I don't know what it is. I just can't like press all of the, I just can't do it. I just can't press all of the keys in time. I can't, yeah, I just genuinely can't do it. So a controller is nice and safe and nice and lovely, and I know that I can reach all of the keys in time, or like all of the buttons. I can do all that. And yeah, that's me. Hey, and thank you, oh my goodness, thank you for the follow. It is much appreciated. You're always welcome. It is good to have you in. Yeah, so join the Discord by all means. It is hardly anything in there which I do seriously need to rectify. The one thing in the I'm gonna have to disappoint. I'm seriously gonna have to disappoint right now. This challenge series is, or whatever I'm doing anyway, haven't set it up, so or not doing it, should I rather, for playing against other people, because again, I can give you the spiel, but I'll save you that. And at the moment, the voice chat on the Discord servers, I've actually never used it, to be honest, but it was more for like off-stream kind of things rather than during stream, purely cause I think at this stage I'm not really wanting, should I say, to do any sort of what's the word, like what am I trying to say? Not trying to do any stuff with other peeps at this point in time. and also this series that I'm doing where I've got to try and do these 11,000 fights. If I'm gonna finish by November or October, I need to be smashing out. Need to be absolutely smashing out these fights with a quickness, which is why I'm doing it as such. If you're looking for that sort of thing, my dude, I may not be the place for that. Maybe in the future, but while I'm still very, 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 very slowly finding my feet with, e.g. like streaming and all that sort of thing. If you're looking for that sort of thing, it may not be the place for you. Which is all good. Like I don't want to set false expectation, should I say. I just want to make sure that I'm not trying to give the wrong impression, that's all. But welcome in regardless. Oh my goodness gracious me. I swear to God I'm gonna whack this controller. What the hell just happened there? Is my stream still going? I'm guessing it has. I think I've actually just figured out something. Well, figured out something. I think is I'm gonna guess my stream's still going. But so when this controller, when the cable wiggles around a little bit, the controller disconnects. So I wiggled the cable down around a bit more and it reconnects itself. But sometimes, not often, but often enough, when it does that, my whole screens will go black for like a second, like a split second, and then the game will be fine again, all of that will be good, but then suddenly, not suddenly, on OBS, my stream view thingy-mabob is completely frozen. So I've got no idea if things are okay. I'm gonna assume everything's alright. But yeah, weird. And it always happens sometimes when this controller reconnects itself in. It's odd. Oh, it's so odd. Anyway. Hey, Insane Fangirl! How are you? I'm doing very, very well indeed. I think. I believe. I hope. But no, how is you and how is the fan? Apparently there's another storm or something that's meant to be hitting you guys, and I'm like, goodness, can they give the North Island a break? Good Jesus. Oh, beans. Okay, right, that sandwich is literally just all turned into bread, so I can put that one aside. I think my other sandwich, which are all completely falling apart. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. What's next? Hiruzen and Hisame. Lovely. Oh, she's enjoying school. Oh, that's good. I'm glad. It's always good when they're enjoying school, and it's like it's not immediately awful for them, you know. Or sorry, not to say that it will be, but you know what I mean. It's supposed to hit the top half hard. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know that they're doing you know, doomsday prepping in Auckland at the moment. So hopefully it doesn't hit you guys. Because would you say things have kind of, they've pretty much sorted themselves out where you are? Like is for all intents and purposes everything's sort of back to normal? Sort of hopefully it's just the scraps. I mean, you guys have been on the news. You're on the news enough earlier this year to last like the whole year. See, you guys were on the news so much in the beginning of the year that like Auckland and Wellington were getting jealous. Okay. We've got data and got. No, my frame rate. My frame rate tanks? Not completely. Here we are, lovely. There we go, lovely. One more. Lovely, jubbly, there we go. I have the year off from publicity, pretty much. You need like 3 years off. But then again, that being said, you guys are hardly ever in the news anyway. So it's kind of like, you know, if I finally got your moment to, actually I won't say your moment to shine, that's the opposite in fact. That's right. Well, what are we in the news for? We're in the news for like drive-by shootings and all that. That's alright. we're in the news for crime. Because, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. I don't know, like, some people are saying that it wasn't as bad as this particular article made it out to be. But there was a story, I want to say like maybe a couple of months ago. There's a story of there's a street on the, or a suburb on the east part of where we are, and a lady came home. Found her house utterly destroyed. Like paint all up the walls. Her kids' PlayStations and TV had been thrown into the pool. All of the food ripped out of the cupboards and the fridge. The couches ripped to shreds. Like an absolute, like a feral animal had just like stormed through the house. Like what the hell? Turns out, either on that street or the street next to them, there's these two kids. One of them's like, also one of them's like 11. Well, one of them's 8. And the other's like 11. And they are known for being insert name for bad kids. Like they're known around it for being like that. And it was these kids who had broken into her house. These kids who sort of broken into her house and just completely and utterly trashed the place. Like completely and utterly trashed it for no reason, no apparent reason. And apparently these kids are like known for like threatening people with knives on the street. And apparently the mother as well is, because it's like a single mom, the mother's just sort of known for, you know, recreational use of things. And she's just saying, oh, you know, I can't control them. Like, I don't know what to do, they won't listen to me. And then, because they're kids, nothing can be done about it. Like, nothing can be done about it at all. You just better hope, you just better pray that the mum had, or the victim, pray that she had great insurance policy, because you never get anything back. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe reading this thing. And then, like, yeah, these kids aren't going to have anything done to them. Not saying that they need to be, like, thrown into jail or anything like that, but not even a slap on the hand. So we get that where we are. Tales of woe and crime. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Oh my god, sorry. I had to greet you with a mouthful of bread. Very sorry. Lovely. Good, just got done with the last test for finals. Nice! Good job. I can guarantee you did well. I just know you did well. You get a different kind of sleep. You don't have to worry about things being due. Yes. Yes. It just hit different. You just like, you close your eyes. And you just feel this like serenity and calm. I know what you mean. But no, Hope it all goes well. Was it like an exam written test where you're all sitting in a room writing on a piece of paper, or was it head to hand and you just had to like submit an essay or something? Of course, that's right. Oh my goodness. Hedges will come on. Well, I hope, actually no. You'll have, actually no, I'm curious. So what kind of test was it? Was it, excuse me, was it like, do they like sort of, I want to say like the only exams that I've really been properly through, or like when you've got your chemistry thing, so you like flip open the book, it's like, here is a lattice diagram of a ammonia molecule, which colour, or actually no, that's the wrong, no, that's the wrong type of question. Yeah, here's a lattice of an ammonia molecule. Write out the chemical equation for this plus carbon monoxide. I don't know, just completely making up things. And then what would the chemical formula be if blah 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 blah? I don't know, something like that. That was actually the questions probably weren't anything like that, but it's been so long I can't remember. I think what I'm trying to say is, was it like one where you write like big, you answering a question with like a big paragraph of text, or is it like click the option, or is it like kind of like multi-select, or you know, submit your, I don't know, make a box diagram on CAD and then submit that or something, I don't know. Yamato and Nagato. Oh my goodness gracious. Ugh. Basic engineering principles, not choice. What can you not do as an engineer if you don't lose your license? Each given unique design used to program. Okay. Interesting. Oh, so that's actually very similar to whatchamacallit, so like for some of the Microsoft exams, to get the certifications. Some of them, not all, are generally the more advanced ones. So it's like the lab section on them where it sort of creates a virtualized instance. So like, you know, takes you to the Microsoft Teams admin center, and they'll be like, right, a user wants to enable a geofencing Teams meeting policy. How would you do this? And then you've got to like go through all the steps, and then they kind of like, the adjudicator or the proctor sort of ranks that based on it, but you can actually like click around and do things as such. Ah, interesting. Well, I know you did well. That's the I'm feeling it. The universe is sending me signals. That lab. A new hate for Microsoft Excel. Hey, Microsoft Excel's great. I can hardly use it myself, but I love just doing basic table formatting. Actually, no, I don't even use tables. I just put pretty colours in my spreadsheets, that's all I do. Excel's one of those things, like at school, like whenever we'd have see it on the computers, it was always that one program outside of like Word and PowerPoint, that one program that you're like, does anyone actually ever use this? This just seems so like, what the hell? And then you go out into the corporate world, and like Excel's used for everything. Like even things that Excel shouldn't be used for, Excel is used for. It's like everything just lives on Excel. It's mental. So I have to get that on. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, no, you would have had to have them on your own ones. Is it one of those programs, I'm assuming it is, but is it one of those ones that just takes up heaps and heaps of RAM when you're using it? Because like I remember when we had, when I was doing my degree, we had, oh god, what was the name of the company that did it? Maya was the name of the program. All I'm getting is mud, and it's not mud, it's Autodesk. Autodesk's Maya modeling / anim. No, I think it was just a modeling. I think it was modeling and animation. No, I think it was an animation one as well. That was, oh my goodness, that would eat RAM, like absolutely ridiculous. And then also Adobe After Effects was the other one that we had to use for our VFX class. That just ate RAM. Like, I'm like, my little baby laptop that can, you know, chugs along with its when I'm trying to write a Word document. I don't know how it stayed alive. Through the will of God, it managed to stay alive. Lovely. Okay. Then we go to Rasen. Actually, no, wrong one. We want that one. And yes, and then we've got now Obito. reminds me. Actually, no, it doesn't remind me. I was literally just thinking about it. I was actually thinking about it most of the day. Because at work, when you're sort of just doing the project work where it's either like one of those things you just got to put your headphones in and just tinker away at it. Like it's not anything I have to have meetings about or anything like that. It's just I know what I have to do. I just got to do it. You know, I just chuck on YouTube in the background. There's a channel I've been watching. What's his name? Something Geller. It's Jacob Geller. I think that's it. But he does video essays, but they're really, really good. Like the way he does them is very. You almost think that he studied literature, or he studied not psychology. What's the other one? Philosophy. They're very that, I guess. But he's a massive gamer, so most of them are all gaming related. But he talked about one. What did he talk? Shadow of the Colossus. He talked about the hunt for the last secret of Shadow of the Colossus, and it was it was really, really neat. How this whole story went, because apparently when Shadow of the Colossus came out, you know, huge hit. I say critically and userly acclaimed, and rightfully so. And then in I think it was like 2006 or 2007, there was a guy on the PlayStation forums. I want to say his name was Escadia. Escadia. He started a forum thread called like the hunt for the last great secret of Shadow of the Colossus, and basically what it was, you know, you play the game as empty world, and for good reason that it is, and there's just so much detail in it. Like the level of detail in that game is incredible in terms of the environment design, and the game director, what's his name? Fuki Ueda, I think his name. I've probably got the wrong first name, but anyway, he's known for intricate, minute details in his games. Like everything's there for a reason. And so this guy Escady was thinking, you know, originally the game was going to have 48 colossi, which then got reduced down to 24, which then got reduced down to 16, which is the final number. So this guy was like so sure that beyond just what you see and experience in the game, he was adamant that there was just some last big secret that hadn't been found yet. So basically what ended up happening was this thing just started a years-long forum discussion of people scouring every single inch of this game to find secrets. And they found things like there's a particular point in the desert. There's a particular point where where Wanda, the character, where he'll sort of crouch down and sort of, let me start that again. When you're on the Colossi, and you'll come into the point where you can sort of stab into like the sigils things that do damage with them. That crouch and stab animation gets sort of activated, or you can do it on this one particular spot in the desert on the ground. There's nothing underneath, like you can't get underground. It's just random that it's there. So someone's like, oh, is there, you know, does this mean something? Then there's like little pieces of architecture in the environment that just seem to serve some sort of purpose, either, you know, lore-wise or whatever. There's all these little things. There's like doors in places that can't be opened, and you know, surely there must be something behind them, and like people just scouring everywhere trying to find if there's this last big secret that needs to be revealed. And then the guy Escadia ended up passing away, sort of in the midst of all this. but sort of it's kind of like his legacy lived on, like the hunt didn't stop, and people kind of think more emboldened. It's almost like if a secret was found, then it's kind of like, you know, they can rest easy knowing that this guy's dream, you know, his this thing that sort of he was so impassioned about, you know, he was correct and all these sorts of stuff. And so this, for years, this thing continued. People searching, like saying, oh, you know, maybe if on the 16th New Game Plus that you're doing, because there's 16 colossi in the game, you know, maybe on the 16th one, or maybe even the 17th one, something's going to happen. They managed to find that if by doing like 30 New Game Pluses, you can boost your stamina bar to the point where you can climb up the central tower in the middle thing, and there's like a garden up there that was only accessible in the demo of the game, but then this garden has like fruit in it that can like damage your health for some reason, and this giant bridge that spans half the world, you can access that bridge and walk across it. So like this garden was there for some reason, but you could only access it if you'd got your stamina high enough after like 30 playthroughs. So there's all these little things, and then some guy went out of bounds. He, you know, emulated the game and was able to show all the out of bounds stuff, which the developers of the remake, or remaster should I say, which the developers actually used his video footage of the out of bounds to help with their design of the environment, which I think's neat. Anyway, so his out of bounds stuff kind of was like the final nail in the coffin a bit of it's sort of like the final nail in the coffin of like there's no secret, like there's nothing here, there's nothing else to find. So then, you know, I don't know if it happened, I think they were still going when the remaster came out. So, you know, the remaster comes out, it's great. And then, so, on the credits, well, there was a particular, I think it was the guy that did the Out of Bounds thing, but his name was, well, there was a particular forum user, and his name was like Nomad, I want to say his name was Nomad Colossus or something like that. And he had sort of had some significant, maybe he was the guy that did the Out of Bounds stuff. Anyway, he had some significance to this whole thing. And so in the credits of the remaster, when you get to the end and it's the special thanks section, it says Nomad Colossus and the 79 steps to enlightenment. And everyone's just like, 79 steps to enlightenment? Like, what? What's this? And of course, this forum picks it up and it just goes like wildfire. And I think it's actually a trophy in the game. I think. I'm pretty sure it's actually a trophy in the game. But what it is sprinkled throughout this game, there's these like little gold coin sparkle things. So at places throughout the game map, in tops of mountains, like in the ocean, in some random bush somewhere, in the corner of this one vast crevice, you sort of, when you approach it, like you see these little gold sparkle things and like a little wind chime sound goes off, and so you collect these, and then what you have to do is, once you've collected all 79 of them, you go back to the central tower, and there's you can open a door, and down through the door is a throne, like a cool like rock crystal throne thing with a sword that you get. It's like the queen's sword or something, or the king's sword or something like that. Anyway, and that, so, which is, you know, added completely new into the remaster, and the developers pretty much confirmed that they put that into the game as a way to kind of like say to this, almost to this forum in particular, this whole secret seekers, I think they called themselves. This whole big community that had built around finding this secret, this final big thing in Shadow of the Colossus. The developers put this thing in specifically for them. Almost as like to say, you know, yeah, there wasn't anything to find. Yeah, like, you know, sucks. There wasn't anything to find the original, but you know what, guys? You know what? We're gonna do this for you. And they put this thing in so people who were scouring the darkest corners of this world map trying to find something, they were, you know, they got rewarded essentially. And in some, you know, and in a long, you know, if you want to get all sappy and, you know, emotional about it, this guy, Ascadia, you know, who passed away, it's kind of like, you know, his legacy in a sense. You know, his, you know, he's the one that kicked this whole thing off. And essentially he's the reason that this, you know, that they added this thing to the remaster. And I just thought it was the neatest story I've heard in a long time. I just thought that that's just the idea that this whole, like, the passion that people had about finding the secret, like, if you see the sorts of things that they would do, it was like they went above and beyond. They were like comparing parts of Shadow of the Colossus to passages in the Bible, and then pulling, like, saying, well, you know, because this also happened in the next chapter in the Bible, then that means that this part of thing, it means that we have to do this and this and this. And they were saying, oh, well, actually it relates to a particular British folklore story from the 1800s or 1600s or whatever, that said this, and that, you know, they were pulling all of these different, like, allusions and literary things, and like, you know, doing all these metaphors mean this, and, you know, all of the stuff that they did. It was just absolutely incredible. Yeah, because as a kid, you kind of look Sonic and Super Smash Bros. I'd heard that, for some reason I'd heard that too. I think I remember hearing that. Yeah. You're in a deep secret, you have to pull out the Bible. Like, it's like they were going to that extent. It's just, I think it's crazy. It's just absolutely mental. But I love it. Like, on this deep primal level, I just think it's absolutely incredible. Like, it's utterly incredible. And for anyone who says games are just like mindless little who cares about video games, I'm like, bruh. Bruh. Like, you know, games are more than you could ever imagine them to be. It's alright, Michael Rich, it's okay. One day Sonic will be the Super Smash Brothers. I know the only sort of like rumor that actually was true was in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 you could unlock Spider-Man if you did something. Can't actually remember what. Maybe it was just like get all the collectibles or something like that. But that turned out to be true. My brother actually did that when we had Pro Skater 2 on the N64. Do you know about the Trials Evolution Scavenger Hunt? No, I didn't. Do tell. difficulty. Someone discovered that there were these tiny wooden planks. Ah. Ooh. They had letters on them. I'm already loving where this is going. I'm already loving this. Because it's reminded me of the Skyrim insects in a jar thing as well. And Kimimaro.
So trapped.
With the game plan, if you did a certain maneuver, a song would play called Riders of Doom. Wow. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Someone took it to a reason and decided to look at the song in spectrum analysis. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. Please tell me the Morse code said something. Website with pictures that have been updated every day since 2013. Oh my goodness. That is... Because when did Trials Evolution come out? I'm guessing like... That's what I'm thinking of. It's like in the last couple of years, wasn't it? That is dedication on the developer's part to like... Would you call it dedication? No, that like shows just all out love right there. Someone then related those images to a scientist whose name was used to cipher codes into the... Oh my goodness. So to another which gets throws big freeze with no complete end. Whoa. Solving that led to one last website which gave 4 objects in the riddle. One in Helsinki, one in San Francisco, one in Sydney, and one in Bath. Don't tell me that they're like, you basically draw lines between all of those and where it intersects is where like the secret is. Don't tell me that, oh my goodness, if that, I love this. I kind of just want to like give the devs just the biggest high five. Not even biggest high five, just the biggest hug right now. This honestly, like this sort of stuff, I just get so like, why doesn't every developer do this in their games? Like, oh, and also, just actually realised, after this fight, I've got to run an ad just to stop pre-rolls. 3 contained a metal key and a quote by another author jungle, and the 4th contained 300 $300 and a map. Oh my goodness. And also, right, just gotta run a 3-min ad for those who get ads, so much apologies, but I'll just be doing fights so you're not missing out much. Mantlet to a cemetery and a pocket watch. All 4 boxes including the phrase midday in year 2113. First is Saturday in August. 1 of 5 keys will open the box underneath the Eiffel Tower. Midday in year 2113. Wait, so hang on. So like, wait, so like, so someone has got the key. Someone has got the key. And will have to give it to someone unless they've prolonged their life, and tell them in 20. Oh my lordy. They interviewed the developer to see if anything would actually be, and they said that's no joke, and they said they won't be doing this in future games. Really? Because it was Ubisoft who did Trials Evolution, wasn't it? Was it Ubisoft, or am I thinking of another? Am I thinking of, no, I'm thinking of Trials Fusion. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Trials Fusion. Where are we? Trials Fusion. Sabuza and Young Sakura. Oh, that's what I have to do. Oh my goodness, that's what I've got to do. I've got to update the list. Oh, it's published for the 360. Oh my goodness. That is incredible. Red Lynx was the dev. I'm kind of like in awe, actually, about that. That is. So hang on. So actually, because I'm thinking about it, if there's Easter eggs in this, like, that is, I love that so much. So hang on, so if it's really like they've gone full Monty on this, and they've actually like time locked this box to only open in 2113, that means it's like this information, this whole treasure hunt thing has to be like passed on to a younger generation, because everyone alive today over the age of 20 is not going to be alive. Like, we're going to be gone when this thing gets unlocked, whatever it is. And what if that's not even the end of the thing? What if there's like 20 more steps to it after that? I'm kind of like blown away, to be honest. I'm in absolute love of that. Because it's like, it's similar, well, I would say it's similar, not really. I watched a thing about, what's it, the Skyrim, the bugs in a jar that you can find these random jars in some places and they've got bugs in them, but they don't seem to like have any purpose. But then someone saw that on the undersides of the lids were like weird characters, and they tried to figure out like what this whole thing was, and I think Bethesda finally confirmed that it was meant to be part of a quest. It was meant to be a quest line where you'd collect all these things, but it got abandoned halfway through development, and that was it. But they just left them in the game, so it was literally like people going this big like wild goose chase. But that's, I'm kind of like gobsmacked at that. I genuinely, I'm trying to think of any similar set of Easter, like, oh yeah, like you say, like, it's not even an Easter egg, it's like it's just the greatest thing ever, greatest secret ever. I'm even trying to think of anything that can top that. I don't think anything can. But like, the thing is, it's like, even if you don't do it to that level, because that's dedication on a level I've never even seen. But you'd, like, it's so fun. Like, you'd have to be soulless to not think that secrets like that are just so incredibly fun to solve and, you know, see how they all fit together. That, you know, why more devs don't do it? You know, do secrets like that. You know, it doesn't even have, you don't have to start doing things in the you know, in the real world, or creating websites and all this sort of stuff. You don't need to do anything like that. But, you know, just even, you know, just like, I don't know, just something like, you know, all these little things out of bounds, and then you piece them all together and it does something, and then you, I don't know, chuck it through a spectrum analysis machine. You know, like I think I mentioned a couple of streams ago, the, oh, whatchamacallit, Portal 2, what they did with their, you could find this radio, that would have all the static, and then when you put that sound file through a visualizer, it created an image, like a picture of the companion cube on the moon, and that was the end of that secret. Like, there wasn't anything else to it. It was kind of just like a foreshadowing of what's to come in the game. But like, that was it. But even that, like, that's something that requires you to be doing an extra step to it. Like something, either you have to get lots of different components and sort of piece them together to get the whole, or something that requires you to, I don't know, it's all in Pig Latin, you've got to translate Pig Latin or something, or you've got to reverse you know, something that requires you to take an extra step outside of the game to be able to fully decode it. I like those ones. Yeah. I really, really like those. Because it, like, I would think, on a fundamental level, it doesn't really, I want to say it doesn't cost the devs really anything much to do it. You know, it's not interfering as such with the development of the story. Again, depends how integrated the secret is. I don't know, it's just like, why wouldn't you? They're just so fun. I love it. I love it so much. Like, I was watching another, this guy, this YouTube channel, does the most incredible videos. They did one about, the recent game, Immortality. And I need to be careful about it because I don't want to spoil anything. But it's like a game by, I can't for the life of me remember the dev's name. What's his name? No, can't remember it. But if you'd ever seen that game, Her Story, where it's like a chick being interviewed, it's all using FMV videos. But you sort of have to, there'll be like a story going on, and you kind of have to, you're seeing a whole bunch of movie clips out of order, and you've sort of got to like scroll through them and sort of piece things together and find secrets and stuff. Like Her Story, you kind of have to, you're on a computer and there's like a police database, and you type in keywords, and it will show you like short, like 20-second, minute-long clips, like all cut from a police interview with someone. And you know, listen to the video, and then she might mention a name, and you're like, oh, I'll type that name in, and then you'll get more videos where that name has been mentioned. And by watching all of these, you know, watching all of these disparate things, you'll eventually start piecing together the story. And sort of, there'll be like one or two particular clips that are kind of like the reveal ones that you can only really, I mean, you could probably stumble upon them accidentally, but you sort of, you'll naturally find yourself coming to them when you've started, you're like, oh, I'm now getting specific things, and you'll eventually, and then the game will kind of like give you a little sort of indicator that you've managed to, you've reached the point where you'll have pieced it together. But this game, Immortality, it's a similar thing, but it's like this actress or something did these 3 films, and they were never released to the public, and she kind of like disappeared randomly one day. So it's got it's just got clips from the filming of these 3 films. Like some of them are when the post-production's been done, some of them are pre-production, some of them's the casting, all of that sort of thing. And so you're watching all the 3 movies you're watching clips from all of them, all out of order. And so again, you've got to piece together what's going on, but without spoiling anything about the story, because it is a great, like it's whereas Her Story was almost like the trial run for this is kind of like a really, really good refinement of it. But when there's a particular moment, it's a hidden moment as well, where a character is lip syncing. It looks like she's singing it, but they're actually lip syncing a song so the musician Lou Reed, who did the song Take a Walk on the Wild Side, he did a song called Candy Says, and it was about, there was a actress or model actress in this, whenever Andy Warhol was a thing, 60s, 70s, oh god, Mum and Dad are gonna kill me for not knowing. But there was a model and actress who would star in his films called Candy Darling or whatever. And I think she was trans. I think she was like an activist, or there was some political stuff going on there anyway. And so this guy Lou Reed sang the song called Candy Says, it's about her. And then like 3 decades later, it got covered by, I think it's an artist called, what's her name? Anoni or something? She's like an indie artist, but she's transgender too. So she did a cover of the song, and so in the game Immortality, this character's lip syncing Anoni's version of the song, because Anoni's got like a distinctive voice sort of thing. And then it turns out Anoni and Lou Reed were like best mates, and so yeah, but I think what this guy in this video was sort of hinting at was the sort of the message of the song, this Candy Says song. The message of it is like directly tied to, I suppose, the motivations or the philosophical questions that this particular character posits, but it's a super hidden scene that you can only get to in a very, very, very particular way, and it's just really odd that it's there. It's really, really, really odd, because this particular character is like fundamental to the whole story, and they interact with the player in a sense. So they're kind of like, oh, something weird's going on with them. But in this one particular clip, it's like the only clip where they don't kind of like look into the camera or sort of interact or talk to the player. It's like, it's almost as if they've been sort of like secretly filmed without their knowledge, sort of thing. I don't know, it's weird. I'll probably explain. I can't actually explain it well at all without spoiling the story, so I won't go any further. But it's yeah, it's I love when devs put secrets in these games that take a bit of work to get to, because I'm the sort of person that would never be able to find this sort of stuff on my own. I never delve too deeply into, out of bounds stuff or trying to do all the stuff. Or even just, I will never pick the stuff up, intuitively. I won't be like, hang on a second, what happens if blah blah blah, or oh, that doesn't look quite right, that looks like a secret. Like, I'm not as perceptive as others would be on that, but I still vastly appreciate, and I'm glad other people do find these secrets, and then other people are able to make video essays about it, because I gain satisfaction from that, I guess. I think the only secret that in a game that I've ever like fully dedicated myself to getting was in Ratchet and Clank 3 on the PS2. In one of the levels, I think it was the Metropolis level. Was Metropolis a level? One of the levels, there is a warp pad that only activates at like 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday or something. Like, there's a particular day and time that this warp pad activates, so it uses the internal clock on the PS2. And it teleports you to like the Insomniac Museum. Like a whole level with all this sort of like Insomniac related stuff in there. So I think I ended up excuse me. I think I ended up going into the, like, resetting the PS2 internal clock so I could get to the secret. I can't even remember what's in there. I think it was from games that me, you know, back when I was a youngster, not really being able to play or even know about many PS2 games. There's probably a lot of it that went over my head because I didn't know what it was referencing. But that's the only sort of secret where I've gone out of my way to getting it. I think. Yeah, and the only other secrets that I know about but wouldn't do is, because even though I can't play horror games, because I get scared too easily, I'm a massive fan of scary Easter eggs in both horror and non-horror games. Mostly the non-horror ones, because some of them are really creepy. Like there's Nintendo seems to be the gold standard for extremely unsettling Easter eggs in their family-friendly games. Mario being, as a franchise, seeming to be the main culprit, main contender. With whatchamacallit. So like in Super Mario Galaxy, in the, which actually I've never played. I know all these details about this thing, but where in, I think one of the galaxies, I think it's like Shippuden Galaxy, whenever you land on a planet in there, and you land there and you look up, because there'll be all of these giant sort of walls surrounding the main stage area, and at the very, very top of these thing on one of the walls, they're what look like figures, like standing there and watching you. And when people manage to find the image asset for these things in the game files, and it's these weird like humanoid looking shadow things with like faces and, well, just eyes really. And the name of the file name for them is Hell Valley Sky Trees, which is weird, but it's like you look up and you just see these things like watching you from afar. It's really unsettling. Yeah, so they had that. So, I mean, there's nothing, I don't think there's anything more to them. They're probably just, just there just to add a bit of ambience, maybe. But yeah, but it's just like weird. And they're called Hell Valley Sky Trees. Yeah. Great Dead Space Easter egg that shows if you spell the first letter of the chapter names. Oh. Hold up, I'm just gonna have a quick Google. Quick Google of the chapter names. Just the first. Oh, this is what I've spoiled myself to oblivion on those games, so it's fine. I can tell you everything there is to know about necromorphs and, oh god, what are they called? Necromorphs, which are born, oh goodness, I've already forgotten the names of all the things. I know that there's like is it brethren moons or something? But basically like necromorphs are when a weird like signal frequency hits like a corpse, and then all this weird like this frequency is what causes the flesh to go like really like mutate and go into monster form, something like that. Markers, that's the one I was looking for. There's the markers. There's like black markers and red markers, and there's like mainly like black markers, but then there's like special red ones. And then basically they make like all these things, these brethren moons, and they like send out the signal, but then the markers kind of like amplify it, something like that. Probably horrendously butchering it all, but I read the wiki page read the wiki page when the boy got the Dead Space remake. So I'm like, oh, I'll never play it, but I'm curious. You know, I like the lore. Don't get me wrong. I think horror game, and especially like the lore of horror games, they're super really creative. I do love it. I just like to consume it in a controlled environment, e.g. Text rather than pictures, or text rather than videos, should I say. I can read about body horror stuff, but I will never watch like a body horror thing. And depending on the graphicness of it, I will look at a picture of a body horror thing. So, yeah, that's kind of it. But anyway, I completely and utterly digress. Chapters list here. Hang on, I'm gonna... I'm not gonna... Just in case there's anyone else watching who doesn't want to be spoiled for Dead Space, I'm gonna read the chapters and I'm gonna give like a or like a so depending on whether I understand. that was very a very odd description. I can hang on. So interesting. I understand. It's one word, it's 3 words. Hang on, now I need to Google who that is. I spent all my time looking at the Necromorph lore, I hardly looked at anything else. Oh yeah, no, Mr. on Discord. Don't worry, I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm just gonna Google who that person is. Read the wiki thing so I can fully understand the significance of that. So. In fact, when you type in the name, the first thing that comes up is, Dead Space. So, although that might be Google kind of like anticipating why I'm googling it. Oh, okay, right. I've just read the thing, and I can see why that would be significant. Right, I gotcha. Who did I just play? Asuma. Interesting. Loving it. I love it. I love that Easter egg. I'll never touch the game, but I love it. On a deep level. The other creepy Easter egg. Oh my goodness. And I don't know, like, it's people are trying to figure out what it means. Is in Sonic CD? Sonic CD? Sonic think it's Sonic CD. Hang on. It's not. It's not Sonic 2006. Definitely not. I think it's Sonic CD. There is a really. It is Sonic CD. Sound test. So in the Sonic CD game from 1996, there is an extremely creepy Easter egg, and for someone like me who sounds like dissonant and discordant sounds really creep me out. Like I get really uncomfortable from like weird creepy off music. So in Sonic CD, if you go to the title screen and you press down, left, right, space, it brings up the sound test menu. And so I think there's like 4 different numbers you can pop in. And so when you put in this particular combination, suddenly the screen changes and it's this weird like music, like weird creepy music. And it's like this tiled background of like a really weird Sonic like face with like, it's like Sonic giving the thumbs up, but like his face is, I don't even know how to describe it. Like imagine the Scream, is it Ghostface is the name of the Scream mask? Is it Ghostface? I think. Imagine that mixed with like the Chad meme face, but like on Sonic's face instead. And it's just this tiled background of it, and then there's this like Japanese like katakana or hiragana, and like this text, and then it's like got the little like as if it's been signed by someone, or like a quote from someone, and when translated, it says "fun is infinite," and then like signed by, and there's a little bit of sort of a uncertainty about exactly the true translation of it, but it's essentially it's like the symbols for like the devil, or like a is it a munji, or like sort of like an evil, like a demon sort of spirit. So basically like the devil is saying like fun is infinite, and then when you couple it with this weird creepy bass that Sonic has, and this like weird creepy music in the background with like this like low slow laugh, and it's like it's just like a like what is this, and why is this in this game, in this family friendly Sega game? Like it's creepy. It's really creepy. There's probably all like the sort of like creepy Easter eggs. That's the one that sticks with me the most. And like even like I remember when because my younger sister's similar to me in that sounds are creepy, like off sounds, especially like very I don't know if it's like the right term to use to describe them, but like electronic, what do you even call it? Like electronic, I'm gonna call them frequency sounds, but like imagine like a weird radio machine in the 1950s was going all haywire, but like with a really low bass all mixed into it. I don't even know how to describe it. Anyway, I remember when I was watching like a video late at night, like, you know, top 50 Easter eggs in non-horror games. I remember my younger sister, she was bored, and she came in, we were watching it together, and then I remember she went to bed, and then she came in like 20 minutes later, like visibly distressed, and she was just like, that stuff was kind of just like sticking in her brain, kind of like mine as well. So she didn't want to sleep alone. And I'm like, oh yes, it's okay, you can come in, because it was creeping me out too, and I didn't want to sleep alone either. Yeah, it's just, oh, what other ones are there? There are so many of them. Like, there's so many of them, it's not even funny. There's like, yeah, and they mostly seem to be like Sonic and Mario games, actually. Probably the ones where they're the most prevalent. Oh, Oh, there's one in Hitman. Is there one in Hitman? Oh, where like a ghost appears in one of these mirrors, in a mirror, and it's kind of like a little bit of a jump scare. I think. Yeah, those are ones I can never quite remember the details of them properly. So I can't do them justice describing them. Lovely. Okay. Then we got Sai and Mikune. Oh my goodness, there we go, finally. Gracious. There, got me for me. Oh yeah, got him. Lovely. I actually need to start using that guard break tool a little bit more, just to help with some of the fights, just to get I can use it to get stuff down quicker, I think. Right, now we've got young Tintin. Level Jubbler. Beautiful. Gorgeous, beautiful, super quick fight. Amazing. Okay, then that one. think I might get to wanting to do 100 fights, but now I'll do 80 fights, I think. There we are. Random question? Random question away, Michael Rich. Something very, very good. Question. As in just like any track, like not a song, as in like a lyric song, just any kind of. Really, really, really good question. Any track in a video game. Might need to give you another top 3. I could probably safely say most of them, if not all of them, will be from Final Fantasy. Hold up. If I just bring my Spotify up, because I'll have all my favorites in here. I just need to check my game bangers list and then my Final Fantasy bangers list, and compare just sort of the three that are jumping out at me. I think it's gonna be an FF bangers. I would probably say oh goodness, this is hard. It's difficult. I would say oh goodness. Okay, top 3. Are gonna be oh no, I'm even sick of guessing myself again. Oh, there's too many to choose from. Oh my lordy. There's just too many to choose from. Okay, but I have to pick some. Gotta make a decision. It's One Winged Angel. Be a pick. And the One Winged Angel Rebirth version, the one in FF7 remake anyway, that managed to build on that banger without detracting from the original either. So like even that's a jam as well. Okay. I think my top 3 are probably going to be Birth of a God from FF7. And I think it's the Bizarro Sephiroth theme. Is it? Maybe, hang on. My other ones are gonna be, it's called apoplexy? Apoplexy. From FF Tactics. And I think it's the, I think it's like a boss theme slash like normal mob fight theme, but in a particular section of the game. Anyway, they played in FF14 in one of the raids, based on FF Tactics in 12. So that one, I like that one. That's kind of like, I like it because it's both like bombastic, but also, I don't even know how to describe it. I just like it. All I know is just my ears like it. My brain likes it. Third would have to be, sorry, second. Oh goodness, again, so many. Second would have to be, oh god, no, because I mean you could. Like FF14 alone could have like a top 10 list. Okay, so hang on. So number one's going to be Apoplexy from FF Tactics /14, technically. Second one is going to be A Long Fall, which is an FF14, and that one's sick because both it's just like, it's really like catchy, sort of makes you want to jam. But it's really like, from a lore perspective, what they've done with that song is incredible. Like, it's the level that it plays in like one of the level 80 dungeons, and like the lore of that particular dungeon is based on in 2 raid series, in like 2 of the expansions. The raid series in Heavenswood was about Alexander, like this giant robot, and the whole like this big time loop that's going on with it. It's incredible. Oh my god, the story's absolutely incredible. Yes, it's all about like time travel and time loops. The Stormblood raid series was about Omega Weapon, this robot from like another planet, like a robot super weapon that's trying to like find out how, like trying to sort of create like virtual battles between beings from other worlds, to try and sort of like put all these people together in a virtual space to try and work out how to be the strongest thing ever, sort of thing, like piece together all the data. So there's that. So in this dungeon, the lore of the dungeon is that these sort of mechanic engineer people that help you throughout the story, they're trying to like build like a proto version, they're trying to build like a proto version of Alexander, but then like there's bits of all of this stuff, plus there this whole crystal tower stuff that's throughout 14. That's all tied into it as well. So the theme, A Long Fall, is like, oh god, like Masayoshi Soken is just unbelievable. Like oh my god, he loves motifs, like lay motifs in music. So do I, bruh. So do I. Oh my goodness. And so it uses elements of the Alexander theme and the Crystal Tower theme and the Omega theme. It like mishmashes them all together, which makes sense from a lore perspective because the dungeon's got something to do with all of these different things. It's just so good. It's just so good. Oh my god. And yes, Locus as well. Just like, and the fact that all throughout the Alexander Raid series as well, like all the different songs in there have all got sort of shared elements to them, and they're kind of like cool, like little bits that are called out and referenced in other tracks of it. Oh, I mean, honestly, like, honestly, FF14 is just beautiful. Like, honestly, my top 3 can be from FF14 alone. And then I'd say my third one would actually be, it's going to be a tie. So one of them is in the current 12-man? No, 24-man raid series, the Mists of the Realm. The first installment of it, the final boss theme to that, Nulled Thal, the theme that plays then in the balance. I love that one. Oh my god, I love that. You could do a whole video essay on that song. It's incredible. Because it's kind of like, it's you're fighting against the patron god of Uldar, this sort of like merchant commerce mining town in the desert, and just so it's like a prayer that Uldar would sing to Nalthal. It's like that's what the lyrics are saying. It's like a prayer and a hymn to him, and then the instrumentation, how they've done it is like you just close your eyes and like, yep, this is Uldar's one. Like this is like without a shadow of a doubt. It's beautiful. Oh, it's incredible. So it'll be that. It'll be a tie between that or the trial boss, Titania. What's the song called? What Angel Wakes Me, I think. It's like the fairy one, anyway. But I love that song, A, because it's kind of catchy, but also how the chorus like sounds in terms of how the lyrics have been crafted in it is, I just find myself in awe of it, because like obviously the whole area that is all based around fairies and fairy tales and stuff, pixies, but obviously Titania as the fairy king is from Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night Dream, and the chorus of the trial boss theme is sung in iambic pentameter, or the kind of the poetic, what do you even call it? Like a way that the sentences or prose has been written, that like every second syllable, like there's something about the way when you hear it being said, it's like every second syllable is pronounced or is like emphasis put on. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it properly. But apparently the chorus of the song is written in iambic pentameter, which is like it's like it's directly referencing Shakespeare. Like even the boss's name and the whole thing comes from Shakespeare, and they're referencing it in the way that they've written the song. Like, yes. And also just even when you're singing it, the way that they've crafted all it's like the sounds of the words themselves like perfectly flow onto each other. Like it's a really, really, really satisfying song to sing in terms of like how the sounds are like rolling off your tongue. It sounds weird. But like, yeah, it's just, it's something. Yeah. Also throwing in the Dragonborn. Dragonborn comes. Yes. There's, like Skyrim and even like God of War as well. I've noticed like a lot of Viking-inspired games, they just seem to just go 11 on the atmosphere and just the sheer, like, don't want to say power, but you know, the behind all the songs that they do for games like that. And it was like, yes, I know what you mean. Oh my goodness. I'm just thinking too, is there one from Zelda? I feel like there's one from Zelda. I do like Zora's Domain from Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Do you like that one? There's something about it that's kind of like nice and serene. Gerudo Valley. Oh, actually no, Gerudo Valley is beautiful from Ocarina of Time. Especially, oh, there was someone that did a cover of it, and they did like a rock or metal guitar cover of Gerudo Valley, and it's chef's kiss. Beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous. Sizzles here, Canadian and Sizzles heaven. And Abel, welcome back. Hope Trails, well, I hope Trails from Zero is good. I know Trails from Zero is doing great, so I hope it's even doing even more fantastic. Interesting you say Lost Woods, because as much as it's iconic, I have been ruined for that song by myself. Because as much as Ocarina of Time and like Zelda's like my favorite, like Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite games, the amount of nightmares I've had throughout my life based on things from Ocarina of Time has like ruined the Lost Woods for me. Like it's weird. I've ruined it for myself. But I had one very traumatic dream where I was in the Lost Woods, and specifically the bit right at the start where it's got the tree stump with the Skull Kid. I had a dream I was being chased around that area by the Skull Kid and these like business scrubs, and with the Lost Woods music blaring in my ear by my brain. And ever since then, I have never once listened to the Lost Woods theme and felt not uncomfortable. So that's that just sounds so stupid when I say it. Yeah, so like on a purely objective critical level, I would agree with you. I would agree with you wholeheartedly. But my brain just says I can't like it because I've been traumatized by it too much. It's going well. Getting sleepy. Ooh, making hot chocolate. Hang out with the girl. That sounds good. That sounds like a night well spent. Oh, morning. Morning. Night. Morning. No, morning. Where you go on there that haunts me. As does this, but if there's any, that's not the song that haunts my dreams the most. And Song of Storms creeps me the F out. Like, because I've had dreams of the windmill dude. He's got a name. Garo?
Yeah, that's about right.
What's his name? Something. The windmill dude. What's his name? I think it's like Garo. Something like that. I've had dreams of him chasing me around. All dreams are being chased. But yes, I've had dreams of that. With the Song of Storms. And so that's been ruined forever for me. Is it Garo? It's not Garo. I feel like it's not. It's not Garo. It's... oh goodness. Oh, maybe I'm pretty sure it's got a G in it though. Windmill guy. What's his name? Oh, his name's just literally the Phonogram Man. The Phonogram Man? Wait, he doesn't even have a name. I'm thinking of Grog. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking of Grog, the guy from the Cuckoo side quest that turns into a Stalfos in the Lost Woods. Never mind. The Phonogram Man. That's who I'm thinking of. It's all good, Bill. Don't worry. Me, Zelda is one of my most beloved series of all time, but it is also the series that I've had literally the most nightmares about throughout my whole life. Like, I've had more nightmares about Ocarina of Time than anything else. It's weird. My brain just loves doing it. Right. Excuse me. I play Zelda. It's alright. I am a when it comes to like Final Fantasy and Zelda, I'm a bit of a lore machine, and so I can go off on tangents. And Elder Scrolls as well, actually. I'll go off on tangents, so I need to rein myself in. Anyway, I'm gonna update the list, and I think I'll have to call it a day there. So where are we at? We're at 40. 474. Oh, look at that, beautiful, gorgeous. Rightio. Anyway, I will have to call it a day there. But I will pick day 83 up on Sunday because I'm expecting it to be a normal weekend. I'm not expecting anything crazy. And then tomorrow will be East 6, Arkham of Pishton, and the next after that will be another Cold Steel 2, which I'm all very excited about. But yeah. But no, thank you, Michael Rich. Thank you for hanging around. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. As always, your presence is much appreciated, and I'm grateful. And yeah, no, stay well, everyone. Stay rested. Stay fabulous. Stay broody fresh. Stay beautiful. Stay crispy. I don't know. I need to like come up with some new words. Stay crispy. There we go. That's gonna be a new one. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Take care. I will see you all next time. Bye.